Hello, everyone. My name is Phony Tony, also known, well, Anthony. My YouTube account, Instagram, I'm known as Phony Tony. And welcome to my YouTube channel. I am a reseller. I'm 20 years old. I have been reselling with my family since 2007, but most of it has been flea markets or in-person sellings, or sometimes carnival or state, in person to in person selling. I do have an eBay account which I've used sparingly throughout the years, and only about till November last year when we started using it a bit more, since realizing that selling in person couldn't be the only way of making income. And I've been independent. I've been, I guess, like self-employed for like the last 2 years, since 2018. Um, I've owned an insurance business, which I'm restarting up again this year. And this channel that I created is to pretty much show my journey of taking these two eBay stores that I have, and turning them into a very successful full-time business that I can use to live off of and potentially grow. Now, before I get into the whole video, just want to give a shout out to all the nurses, all the people that are out there still working, trying to provide a service to the people in need in this current state of COVID-19, where it has impacted the world, and we are very much impacted by it. I just want to give a shout out to them, and people, stay safe. If you don't need to go out, don't go out. It's a good time to start an online business per se, or if you have one that you've been using part-time, it's time maybe to level it up in order to bring some extra income to the house. I know some of us are without jobs at the current moment. And like I said, this YouTube channel is about myself. And as you can see, right now I have a lot of facial hair, a lot of hair on my head. I stubbornly live in New Jersey, so I stubbornly didn't go to get a haircut before our governor shut every single business down that was non-essential. And the day he announced it, I at 8 p.m. that day, and by 8 p.m. I tried to get a haircut, which didn't work out. So now I got this huge mustache, a lot of chin hair, and a big set of hair. So I might actually, I don't know, I might have a ponytail by the end of all of this, and then get a haircut. I might even go bald. I'm getting tired of having head on my hair at this point. And you know, this channel, like I said, it's a journey. It's the beginning of it all for me. As you can see, I'm just starting out. We're remodeling the whole basement to make sure we have something set up so our business will be very successful. So this is the start of it all. And there's 5 things I wanted to bring to this store. 5 things that I think are important. Of course, there are more important things than there are other important things that you could suggest. And if you do have important things that you might want to share with the community, the people that watch this video, that look for a starter, even myself, because I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. Just drop it down in the comment, and help each other out. So 5 things that I think are important to start a store that I'm bringing in from my other business. One, you have to have a goal. You have to have a goal for listing items. You have to have a goal for how many platforms you're going to use. How many sales numbers do you want to produce? All of those goals are essential, because you don't want to just run a business and wing it. If you wing it, you're basically going to aimlessly not succeed in actually having a store. Having a goal, for example, my goal is to at least generate my first month or first 3-4 months an extra $15,000 in sales, or $20,000 in sales. That way, at least I'll be able to say this is now a second full-time business that I have that'll supplement my insurance business, or that can work together and be full-time. And no matter what happens, we don't have to depend on going out to flea markets, which is another form of selling for us, and I'll explain why. And second thing I consider important, organization. You want to be organized. Like I said, we're remodeling the entire basement to be able to put in shelves with labelings on which items we put out, kind of like keeping track of inventory, and that also includes having a system. And you want to have a system of your inventory. There, you can track them on an Excel sheet. You can also track them on different apps that you can use to keep track of your inventory. And on my next video, I'm gonna do a part 5 video. You know what? And in these part video 5 videos, I'll actually explain in depth on why I think these 5 things are important. And reading your comments, I might add some other things too. Number 3, money tracking. So for my other business, I always track money, especially cash. If you sell in person, that's a big thing that you have to track. If you don't track your cash, you don't know where you're getting in. You don't know your expenses. The same for online sales. If you don't know what your income is, you don't know where your expenses are going, then you're pretty much going to be left in the air, and you're also starting to wing it when it comes to cash, and that's something you do not want to do. Because if you're winging it with cash, at the end of the year, you don't know what you made. And the fourth thing I have, it's very important to have a team. In my insurance business, building a team, and is very important too, because the more the merrier. The more heads there are together in a team, the more ideas flow, and you get more creative. Also, if you're going to list a lot of items, like I'll be listing about, try to list 1,000, maybe to 600 to 1,000 items a week. That's the actual goal for me. Then I'll need to have a team to take pictures, list the items. I myself and other people, go out, look for items to buy, make connections and stuff like that. So you're going to want to have a team. Now I know that many of you won't start with the cash to actually hire people. So if you have, someone in your household, a family member that can help you, don't, ask for the help. So there's no pride in asking for help, and it's always remaining humble. If you need help, you gotta ask for it. Right now it's just my brother, my sister, and my father. My father mostly comes in the non-tech side of it, which is free market sellings, along with me. My brother and sister, they like to do a lot of online sales. They each have their own eBay stores specializing in certain items. I have 2 eBay stores that I'll specialize in 2 different categories. And I'll go over in my next other YouTube videos, as to why if you have one store, you may want to categorize it if you're going full time, even if you're part time. And the most important one, this is not the least, actually, to me, this is the most important, super important thing to start a store or any business, period, is optimism and patience. If you have a lot of optimism, then you'll be happy doing it. You won't be affected by the downturns of business, because business can come around and kick you right in the butt when you least expect it, and boom, you find yourself on a downfall for a short while. So always be optimistic and humble. And patience. You have to have a lot of patience. If you don't have patience, then this, starting a business isn't for you. Patience is required. Why? Because when it comes to selling stuff, you might, get some inventory, you might post some items, and some items won't sell for months. And it's like that. Especially if you're doing high ticket items, which I sometimes try not to focus on, because if you do high selling items, you need a lot of cash and need a lot of funds, and sometimes they might not flip for months, depending on the items. If you do Jordans, of course, those are sell instantly, because those are like selling hotcakes. But if you are going to do those high ticket items, then you have to have patience. And if you are going into that, you have to have a lot of cash, because you're going to buy a lot of sneakers and you're going to try to flip them all. And it's a good business, it's a good flip, but you have to have a lot of cash and a lot of patience. And selling those low ticket items, or brick and mortar, I like to say, the $1, $2 items, the $5 items, the $8 items, the $9 items. If you sell large quantities, you're going to make your money, of course. Now, if you do have to have a lot of patience, because some of it might not sell right away. And this business will require a lot of patience. Any business will require a lot of patience. So those are 5 things that I consider important to starting a store, especially starting an online business or any business. Some people take this as a side hustle, and I would say still have these 5 important things attached to your business, even though it's a side hustle, because it'll keep it in check, apart from your regular time job. Like I said, if you're starting a part-time job, full-time job, those are important things to consider. And if you have more or other, important things that you may want to point out by experience, please do so. Mention it in the comments. Help each other out. There's a community that I'm trying to build where people are just starting a store or already built a store, and it's just to help each other out. We're all in this together, as I would say. And that's basically it when it comes to the 5 important things. Now I just want to give you a tour so everybody doesn't feel bad, like, oh man, because a lot of people have started stores already, or their YouTube channels, they already have a whole layout set up. I'll take you behind the scenes as to the very beginning, so that way somebody like me who's starting out, or somebody just starting out period, will see that yes, it all isn't beautiful the first time out. So I'm just going to give you a little tour of what we have set up now. So this is what this is our basement area. As you can see, we all have everything on boxes, and that's because we usually started off on flea markets, which is just stuffed up in boxes and go take it and sell it. So we didn't even focus on organizing categorically. So that's like my area, which I will eventually get some shelves up and start categorizing, setting everything up. See, there's some more boxes down here. Let me go to the dark side of the basement. I'll turn the light on, and voila, this is my brother's setup. So he himself is actually starting to categorize more stuff, and we still have more work to do, but it's something. And this is my father's area. If I turn on the lights, you guys will be blown out by the disorganization. But you can pretty much see, well, actually, you know what? Let me turn on the light. You follow me this way. And you see more stuff here that we have to categorize. And voila. So, basically, this is what I consider a disorganized mess, because only he knows what's going on here. And eventually, when I'm done over there, I'll end up doing the same thing here. As you can see there, I kind of started when it comes to shelving stuff out. I just got to do the entire area. That way we categorically shelf things out. So, as you can see, you're not in this alone. Someone like me, starting out, we're just starting to take this whole eBay business serious. It's a lot of work. But if you want to be independent, you want to work full-time from your home, you don't want to work that 9 to 5 anymore, or if you want that extra side hustle, it takes a lot of work. There's no cutting corners, and there's no cheating away around it. Not everything's pretty in the beginning, as you can see. My next step from here, is actually looking for shelves, which I've been doing. So who knows, maybe in the next few videos, you might see some shelves up behind me. And better lighting, of course. We're just fixing up the basement too. So guys, I'll see you on the next episode with Reselling with Phony Tony. Just hit the like button if you like my channel. You want to follow me on this journey. If you have your own journey, shoot your experiences out in the comments. I love to read comments because I love to read people's feedback. I love to see people's experiences, hear people's experiences. And just hit that subscribe button. Join me on this journey, and I'm taking my store to the next level. And on my next episode, I'm gonna talk about goals. Actually, how to set a goal. How to set a goal, stick to the goal, and try to somewhat plan out that goal in order to make sure you do become successful and have something to look forward to. And that also include why to have a to-do list. I have a to-do list. Everybody should have a to-do list. So on my next episode, we'll talk about that on Reselling with Phony Tony. Like I said, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. See you guys next time.